the abuse that he suffered leading up to the cross and on the cross and everything, it was enough for Jesus to cry out, my God, why have you forsaken me? Have you ever felt distant from God after narcissistic abuse and wondered what that meant about your faith? You want to feel close and connected to God and sense that He's near. But when you don't feel that closeness, your mind starts trying to make sense of the distance. Did God leave me? Is my faith not strong enough? Why do other people seem to feel close to Him but I don't? Is something wrong with me? In today's episode, I'm talking about why the feeling of distance does not mean that your faith is gone, and what to do when God feels distant after narcissistic abuse. So grab your journal and pen. Let's get into it. Do you want to heal from narcissistic abuse, but you struggle with self-doubt and second-guessing everything? If so, you're in the right place. I'm Tekyia, mom, coach, and your survivor friend. Here we mix faith, real talk, and practical tools to restore confidence and self-worth. So if you're ready to rebuild your confidence and finally feel at peace, take a deep breath. Exhale now. Let's heal for real. I know you're tired of holding everything together and pretending that you're okay when you're really falling apart on the inside. You're tired of blaming yourself for what happened. Tired of trying to explain something that already feels confusing enough in your own mind. And honestly, tired of feeling like you're facing your healing journey alone because the people around you don't really understand what narcissistic abuse does to a woman. I remember being in that place. I felt like a shell of myself. I felt unworthy of anything good. I felt incapable. I constantly second-guessed everything. But I knew that I desperately wanted to heal. I didn't want to keep replaying what happened over and over again. I wanted to feel like me. But the criticism, the confusion, and everything I had been programmed to believe about myself were still so loud in my mind. I wasn't just trying to heal and move on from what happened. I was trying to figure out what was actually true about me. Who I really was. What I could actually trust and believe again. And that's why I created the Self-Trust Breakthrough Session. Because sometimes you need somebody to sit with you and help you untangle the criticism, the confusion, the fear, and all the lies from the truth about the woman God created you to be. In this session, I help you begin separating what is really you from what the abuse trains you to believe, so that you can leave with one clear truth about yourself that you can begin trusting again. And that one truth matters because it gives you somewhere to start, somewhere to begin rebuilding the confidence you thought was gone. So head to www.growingthroughpains.com/coaching and book your Self-Trust Breakthrough Session. Along my healing journey and just in my relationship with God in general, I have not always sensed God's presence. Things have not always been easy. There have been times when disappointment hit so hard, times when prayer felt more like speaking to a wall than anything. In my mind, I knew that God was good. I knew His word was true, but I still was struggling to feel close to Him. I wanted that connection, but when I didn't feel it, the story in my mind got really loud. If your faith were stronger, you would not feel like this. If you're doing the right thing, you would feel closer to God. Look at everybody else. Look at how they talk about their relationship and how God speaks to them. Something must be wrong with you. Now, one day, I was feeling so low. I was already in a place where I felt like I was praying and not getting any answers. And then something pretty terrible happened. Well, terrible in my estimation happened. And it was like this crushing weight on me. But somehow, in the moment of feeling like God was so far away, I made a decision. I was not going to let my feelings make the best of me. So through tears, I started to speak God's word out loud. I said to Him, God, I do not feel like you're close right now. I don't even know where you are. But you said that you would never leave me or forsake me. You said that you will strengthen me. You said when I walk through the fire, I will not be burned. I don't feel any of that right now. It seems like a distant thing, but I know that you are not a man that you should lie. So I'm choosing to believe your word, even though I feel so far away from you. I know by me speaking back the word out loud and making that decision, I didn't magically feel close to God right away. Yes, the tears stopped because I was no longer focusing on the distance that I felt, the disappointment I felt. I was focusing on who God was, his promises, his word. And that made quite a difference. When you've experienced narcissistic abuse, feeling distant from God can bring up a lot more than sadness. It brings up fear, shame, doubt, confusion. Because you're not just thinking, oh, I wish I felt closer to God. You start to try to put together pieces in your mind about what the distance means and even what it means about you. Did he leave me? Is he disappointed in me? Is my faith just not strong enough? Am I doing something wrong? Why does everybody else seem to feel so close to him? And these questions can come and feel even louder because narcissistic abuse trains you to look for what you did wrong when you experience that feeling of offness in connection. You learn to study silence, to read distance. You learn to wonder and think about what changed and question yourself when closeness just felt like a distant dream. So when God is feeling far away, your mind tries to make a story out of it the same way. And most of the times, the story somehow turns against you. So instead of just naming it as it is, okay, I feel distant from God right now, the story becomes, oh, my faith is not strong enough. I'm not praying enough. God has left me. This means that something is wrong with me. And this is where the shame comes in. And when shame steps in, performance is usually right behind it. You start trying to read the Bible enough, pray fast enough, feel the right things, say the right words. You're just trying to do anything to get back that feeling of closeness. And before you know it, your relationship with God starts to feel like another place where you have to prove yourself. Or sometimes it can go the other route where you just like, forget about this. But God is not asking you to perform your way into closeness with him or even to measure your faith by how connected you feel in every moment. Feeling distant from God does not mean that your faith has somehow disappeared or that he's left you and you've stopped loving him. Think about Jesus. He was perfect. But you see all the abuse that he suffered leading up to the cross and on the cross and everything. It was enough for Jesus to cry out, my God, why have you forsaken me? Jesus was not faithless in the moment, but rather he was expressing that deep anguish. He was expressing how he felt. He felt like the Father had turned away from him and left him all alone. So when you feel those moments of disconnection or like God has left, this is nothing strange. And you don't have to shame yourself for those feelings. Neither do you have to turn those feelings into proof that something is wrong with you. You can acknowledge what you're feeling without letting it become the final truth. Because ultimately, yes, feelings are indicators, but you can't be led by your feelings. And let me just be the first to say here, I am a very feelingsy type of person. And if I'm not careful, my feelings will just have me all over the place in any given day. So I need something more stable than that. And God's words and promises are what are stable. They hold true no matter what. So this week, if you feel like, oh my goodness, I'm so far away from God, I want you to take a pause. Don't try to perform anything or shame yourself. Ask this one honest question. What is this distance making me believe? Then name it. Just call it for what it is. And when you name the story, what it is making you believe, bring the story back to God's word. His word is our standard. It is true whether we feel it or not, because God is faithful and he cannot and does not change. Hebrews 13:5 says that he will never leave you nor forsake you. And Isaiah 41:10 says that, fear not, he's with you. Be not dismayed, for he is your God. He will strengthen you. He will help you. He will uphold you with his righteous right hand. And for all those things to be happening, God definitely has to be there. So speak these promises out loud, or send a simple prayer. God, I don't feel close to you right now, but you said you will never leave me. It doesn't feel that way, but instead of being led by my feelings, I'm going to anchor myself into your truth, because you are not a liar. And that's the practice. Keep bringing the feeling of distance back to the truth of God's word. And none of this is to force a feeling, because truth be told, you might be reminding yourself of this truth and feel absolutely nothing, no change. But what I can tell you is that the more you anchor into truth, eventually feelings, they do catch up. So in essence, you're just going to be reminding your heart that distance does not get to rewrite what God has already promised. And look, wanting to feel close to God is not wrong. I mean, in a relationship with someone, you want to feel that closeness, you want to feel connected. So that desire, nothing is wrong with it. But when life be lifing, you don't have to let shame speak for you. You don't have to assume that your faith is gone. Neither do you have to perform your way back to God. He is already there. He has promised to stay with you. And regardless of your feelings, no matter how painful, no matter how loud they are, his word is still true. And you can choose. That's the beauty of it all. We have the power of choice to believe what he promised, even while your heart is still catching up. So today, be gentle with yourself. And I'll see you in the next episode. Hey friends! I hope today's episode taught you something or gave you a boost. If it did, would you take a couple seconds and share it with someone who's ready to heal from narcissistic abuse? And while you're at it, would you please leave me a quick review on Apple Podcasts? It really thrills me to know that other women are being helped. Now go ahead, stretch or grab that snack. I'll see you in our next episode.